Hey, thanks for coming in. Let me know if my audio is good. I'm going to check the audio level on YouTube. I'm just waiting for my screen to pop up. This is just a testing stream, nothing serious. Just having fun. Let me see if this is live. Hello? Okay, it is live. I invited a couple of people. I don't know if they're coming in. I'm just waiting for they respond. Let me know how is the lighting in the back. I bought a RGB light. I don't know if it look good. If that's a good color. I'm just testing different equipment. So when I come back to my usual live stream, Mondays at 7 p.m., um, that's what I'm doing. Okay, let me add to this thing. Hey, brother, how you like the
Howdy.
RGB light? Hey, how you like the RGB lighting? They look good?
Um, I just hopped on, and if you put us in the wide view, I could see better.
Oh, okay, sorry. You mean this, right? This, right?
Yeah, that's better. It looks like you're,
What?
it kind of looks almost like you're standing by the side of like one of those fancy pools with like where they light up the water. It's got like that aqua look coming from
Oh,
it,
yeah.
you know?
The reason I picked this color because it's kind of similar to my channel. So I could switch it. I mean, this is a test stream. So I'm testing things, so you let me know what's your opinion. Miles text said it look good. Hey, if you want to hop on, let me know. I'll send you a link, Miles. This is just a fun stream, nothing serious.
I just,
Afterwards, I'm gonna delete it.
I just uploaded a TikTok. I haven't in a while. It was just kind of reading off some of my more of my thoughts on the whole thing that we did our live stream with privacy and all that stuff, and some stuff that I
Hmm.
tweeted out too. But I just figured TikTok is a good short form. Like if I just have some like quick thought to throw it on there,
Yeah,
because
give me a second.
I'm still not
Yeah,
sure about YouTube Shorts. You know,
yeah, keep talking, and I'll listen to you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna send the link to Miles. So
I
bear with
can
me
send
with
it
that,
to
okay?
him. I can send
Okay,
it to
send it to
him.
him. It's better. Yeah, that's better. I don't want
I
to get
already
lost.
have it copied, so all I have to do is go to.
So let me know if I should switch the light different colors. I'm just testing for the fun of it. Oh, and the whole body is aluminum of the lighting. Cool.
There.
Mark Sequence, right?
Yeah.
I invite him too because he's been supporting, and I just said, oh, whatever. I'm gonna delete this afterwards. It's nothing serious. So
I just spent time putting toy chest together.
oh, cool.
Whoa,
You got
that's
to eat
weird.
dinner?
Look at what's going on with the light. What the heck?
My light or your light?
Oh, because it's thinking I'm trying to green screen something. You
Oh,
see
okay, I
that?
got
It's
you.
like
Yeah, I got you. I
trippy.
got you. Too.
Yeah, spent time putting together a there we go. If I click to none, it'll be better. Putting together a toy chest. Ended up with a
Oh,
blister on
what
my
about
finger. I
dinner?
didn't mean
Did
to
you got
flip
to?
people off.
Oh, you know this? I do like that all the time to fix my glasses, and people get mad because I'm using the middle finger. But I got
Um,
used to it so many
I
years.
got a ham sandwich that I'm gonna eat. I went up to the store. I got back. I started. I had some thoughts, so
Mm.
I started tweeting those out, and
You could
then I
eat. You
did
could
a
eat in the live
video,
stream. You can
and
eat in
I'm
the
like,
live stream. Don't feel
I'll
embarrassed.
just wait and eat in a little bit, because
Now you can eat right now.
I'm trying to decide which
Mi casa
sandwich I
tu
want to
casa.
eat, because I got two sandwiches, so I'm trying to decide which one I'm gonna eat right now.
You know what I did? I got a big sub and I got a slice and a fry. So I ate the slice and the fries and I'm full. So I think the sub was a waste of money because it'll. Maybe I'll eat it later if I feel hungry.
Hey, easy.
Hey, how you doing? It's the Computer Solution. A live stream that I'm coming back to do live streams. and tomorrow I will be finishing my video. Let me say that to him. So after this, it's gonna get deleted. This is for fun. So just testing a lot of my RGB light that I got recommended from Trent Tech. So I'm loving it, and I will talk about that in another video, which I'm gonna do an unboxing and everything. Thanks for stopping by. Let me put Mouse Tech in here.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
It looks nice. The light behind you looks nice. You just need a light in front of you so that
Oh yeah, I can
your
turn
face
this
is.
on. What about? Oh, that's too much, right?
That's too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could fix that. I'll fix that. Let me see what I could do with this light. Let me go slow. I'm gonna drop. This is the light. I just gotta. I don't know if I could adjust it or it's only one lighting. Let me look. I don't think it have adjustability. But you know what I could do with this lighting? I could probably put it far away and fix it. You know what I mean? Like different distance, so it don't be too harsh. But the thing is, I got too many cables. If I get up, you know how you saw my desk set up. I'm in a tight situation, so I can't do that right now.
Yeah, if you put the other one like way far enough away that it just sheds a little bit of light on you, then you'll be exposed okay, and then your background will still be lit like it is now. But if your background's way brighter than you are, then that's where you get that problem.
Yeah. So this one is all is the regular light. So that one I need to put it far away, and then this one is fine back here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the one that I got to move far away because it's the white strong. I can't change the temperature. It's just only one temperature. I think I don't know. I don't use this much often. This one. Let me see something. No, it's too much white. See, let me see something.
You have to
Give
put
me a
it far
second.
away or like bounce it off the wall so it just lights
Yeah.
you. Or be like
Let me see
Miles,
some.
who just has his whole room lit up by light, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I just want to try something different. I don't want to, you know, it's true. But I'll do it some other. I'll try some later because if I get up, I'm gonna everything's gonna fall. So honestly, I'm not trying to trip the whole table. I mean, because my bed is right here, and then this corner is free. Remember when people used to make fun of me with the halo light?
Mm-hmm.
This is the same corner. I just took all the light from the back and I put the table there because it fitted perfectly.
Hmm.
Hey, what's up, big dog? Just a chill stream, just testing some stuff, nothing serious, having fun. So go ahead, Michael. What you were saying?
Oh, I was just saying that, you know, when you
Oh, put it
have,
far.
when you have, or like the only light in the room in here is the little bit of light. No, not even then because it's getting dark outside and I have the shades pulled, but maybe a little bit of light from outside and then like the lamp across the room
Oh, okay, cool.
and the
Yeah,
TV, but that's not really putting off much light.
No.
yeah. So that means this original light, I gotta bounce it. So I'll do some testing later because right now I'm in a tight situation. If I get up, it's gonna move the whole I gotta push the whole desk out of the way.
And
So
I'm using the back camera from my iPhone, which the sensor on there is big enough that it doesn't take a lot of light to look pretty good, but obviously more than like if I was using my regular camera or something. What
okay, you got a
phones are you
question.
guys excited about that are coming out? Pixel 6.
The
It's probably going
Pixel
to be the
series.
it's probably going to be the only phone. Well, technically I bought the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but I should say it will probably be the only phone that I buy that's a 2021 phone this year.
Mm,
Yeah,
sure.
I'm interested. I don't know if
Cuz
I'm gonna buy it.
I don't think that cuz even if like Apple, even if they came out and they're like, you know what, we're doing portrait video mode too, and like all this crazy, it wouldn't be really enough for me to worry about upgrade, unless they somehow are like, yeah, and we're also giving you 30 hours of battery life, like some ridiculously crazy, like, because I don't need 120 hertz, I don't need like always on display, and even with always on display, they could that's something that could be done even on the older devices. Although it would be different with battery life, because if they're using the LTPO technology where it can drop all the way down to 1 hertz like they use in their watches, then I could imagine then always on display it'd just be refreshing once per second, so it'd be really efficient. So I could see them keeping that to older hardware. But if not, I mean, just having part of your screen lit up to be able to see it versus having to light up your whole lock screen every time you want to see a notification, I think that advantage alone, even on like older iPhones, would be worth it. If they're going to add that, but like none of that really even is really worth it to me anymore. Like I think any phone in the last few years is pretty good. I mean, my Note 20 Ultra, I don't see any, like they've come out with many new phones since then, and I don't see a problem. OnePlus, I mean, honestly, their phones in the last few years have been decent as far as cameras go. Like no phone's cameras are perfect. The Pixel excites me just because some of the stuff they're doing with point and shoot, and they're finally coming out with a device that, like, the Pixel 5 was the first Pixel I used that had good battery life and like balance with their cameras. And so the only thing that I wanted to see, the only slight delay I noticed from it having that 765G processor is the images, the post-processing, when you take a photo and it's putting everything together, whether it's HDR or like the blur, that computational stuff is slower than if it was using a faster processor. So this year, the reason the Pixel 6 excites me is it's both their software and hardware combined together. So it should be like the smoothest, fastest, as far as like Android is out there. You don't have all the extra stuff. As far as Samsung phones, the only thing that
FE
that and and I'm looking forward to the next Fold coming out just so that the Z Fold 2 gets even cheaper. Because I see like the Z Fold 2 being like $500 by the end of the year, if not less. Like I can see people selling pretty much like new condition ones for like $600-700.
I can't speak about this because I don't have this phone.
So yeah, the OnePlus 9 cameras are great. I mean, I like my regular OnePlus 9. He's talking about the Pro. The only real difference is the Pro has OIS versus EIS, but Juan Bagnell did a video talking about that, and he actually showed that the electronic image stabilization in this wasn't much. There wasn't much more noticeable with the optical image stabilization in the 9 Pro, and people like to save $340. I'd say it's worth it. And there's in the one extra camera that's on the Pro. And then there's also the difference in they both have 120 hertz, but the Pro has that variable refresh model. But other than that, like I don't see a $340 price gap.
No.
And it'll be interesting to see because if the Pixel 6 comes in at the right price point, the difference between the 6 and the 6 Pro in price should be in line with the few differences in specs, like versus such a drastic difference. You're talking, almost 50% difference in price between the OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro, where if the Pixel 6 comes in, I mean, I don't think it will be as inexpensive as the Pixel 5 just because of the fact that they're using their own chip and they've added cameras and some of the other stuff. But so even if it comes in at like $799, which is more than the OnePlus 9 is, but that will mean the Pro will start at a lower price point.
Okay, gotcha.
And even if it comes in at that, you're also talking about, I don't know, that's a rough call because do they come in at the same price as the Pixel 5 was and make people mad because it's got better processor and it's a newer device
Hey,
than that,
Latrell.
I don't know. I think that they would be smart if they came in at like $699 and $899 starting out.
Isn't there a 5A now?
Yeah, and that's $450. So they can't go too much cheaper. They can't go at like $600, or there might be a model of the 5A that's like that price difference could be too close. So
Yeah, that's true. What about you, Miles? Since you have the 5, how you like it so far?
Well, it's getting fixed right now, so I haven't been able to use it, but it's alright.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm interested in the fan edition. I don't know why in the Fold 3. I'm not buying no phone right now because my money going to my equipment. But honestly, the FE and the Pixel is the one intriguing the most. If I ever were to buy one.
I for a while I was buying phones just because I was like, oh, I want to get this to review it, and oh, this is exciting and that, and like fell into like the whole marketing thing. And now I'm like, I'm only buying devices that I'm actually gonna use. So like, I wasn't gonna buy the OnePlus 9 because I was like, oh, that. And even when they talked about the Hasselblad partnership, I was like, but what got me was I had the OnePlus 6T, the OnePlus 7T, and the OnePlus 8, and they all had problems with connecting to T-Mobile.
Yeah, you told me that.
And now that I don't get what it is, but I have had no issues with this really. I think it's because of the 5G. Even though I'm not getting 5G in here, I think it's the bands, because the bands that I'm getting are 5G bands. So even though it's using LTE, I think it's must be something with that. But and something I would use because I like Oxygen OS. And I didn't really like any of the new Samsung devices. Too expensive to get that processor. Too expensive to get. And so I use the OnePlus camera, but I also use should be right there by my thumb, Gcam. I use the
Mm.
port for that. So I don't know. To me, the OnePlus or the Pixel 6
Okay, I'm biting
is
some
kind of
people.
is
I don't
kind of
want
going
to
to
come
be
in.
this. It's kind of going to be this phone, like the hole punch being in the left-hand corner, 120 hertz,
How about color
128 gigs of
OLED?
storage, 8 gigs of RAM. Um,
Okay, just invite kids
except
that want to come in.
for it will have Google's chip. That will be the main difference, and I don't think that they're going to put six. And I doubt it will have 65-watt charging in it. But we haven't really heard anything about the Pixel's charging. Everything, but as far as like high resolution you have ultra wide and 50 megapixel and 12 megapixel and all that stuff. Very similar to something like this, except for pure Android, and I'm excited for that to see and
Bro,
not the heating issues, and hopefully not the time limit on 4K video limited to like 5 minutes, and then I go to take a second clip and I'm inside in the air conditioning, and it shuts off after 2.5 minutes on a second clip. Like,
I don't like the name of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Like, this just sounds weird.
why?
Like,
What I don't get is why they just haven't gone to like
iPhone
how the
iPhone Pro or something.
well, you have an iPad, right? And you have like the iPad Air, and then you have like the iPad Pro 11 inch, and iPad Pro 12.9 inch, and then you have like the generation number for it. So they could just go to like the iPhone, um, the iPhone, they could just have the sizes. So have like the iPhone 5.4 inch, the iPhone 5. Or
Yeah, because
6.2 inch, and then iPhone Pro and then list the sizes, and then you would just go by the year. And people might think it's more confusing, but the problem would be like cases. So you'd have to know, you go in and you see like 6.2-inch iPhone, but what if that, or you see a certain size, but if it's a 2019, it's not going to fit because it doesn't have the same camera cutout as a 2020 or 2021. So that's where I see it get a little confusing. But they just need to go by like the year, by like the generation. You have like size and generation. Everything else does it. I mean, when you grab a MacBook, they have MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, but you had like sizes before. Like you had the 13-inch MacBook Pro and the 16-inch, and then you had the year.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, some people went with specs and stuff too. But
yeah, about that question, you think the what's it called, the MacBook, the 12, you think that was a waste of time, a waste of space, because it never went nowhere?
That was a weird thing because they charged more than they did for the Air, but it had
Correct.
that M3, that Intel like Core M3 processor in it, which was, I believe they put that in a Surface at the same time, and that thing was oh yeah, as a matter of fact, I know they did. They put it in, there was a Surface that had it, and there was the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro S 12.3-inch or whatever. I had that.
Oh my God,
it was like a competitor to the Surface, and they all used that Core M3 processor. The Samsung one was pretty good, but the MacBook one, due to like it basically being like it was weird because it wasn't an ARM chip, but it was like this weird, the way it was designed just couldn't handle anything. So it was worse than the i3 MacBook Air at the time, but they charged like $200-$300 more. Because it was like, that thing was like, what, $1,200 starting out or something like that? It was. Oh,
yeah,
and
it had, this question
they had, what was that, had 2 ports on it or 1 port on it or whatever. I think it was 1 USB-C port and a headphone jack.
Now, let me answer this question quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, I'm testing my whole equipment. I got a new desk, the Rode Wireless Go 2. I got a lighting in the back, so I'm testing the lighting to see different lighting scenario, and I'm doing the live stream with the wireless Rode, this kit. And let me see if I could, yeah, that one. I got it this way because the other way it fell. So I'm testing all that. That's why my testing equipment for everything to make sure everything's good, because I'm planning to come back Monday. And tomorrow drop a video that I'm finishing, almost done. So basically the video that I'm doing is going to talk about my equipment that I'm doing for now for live, not for live streaming, but just recording videos with my phone. Because you already know that my camera broke. I already did a video on that. So this is what I'm using with the Rode Wireless Go 2 kit. And I got the lavalier mic and everything and RGB lighting. Go ahead. Anybody want to continue talking?
Hey, Lewis, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I gifted you the Epoch Cam app for your iPhone, would you use it?
Of course.
I'll do that, because then you can, like, if you wanted to, you can always mount your iPhone with your tripod, or you have a tripod, right?
Correct. I got everything.
You could always do that and then use it, and it works on Windows too, so you could use like your Dell laptop and use your iPhone as your webcam if you wanted.
Well, why don't you give me that? What the hell?
Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, fine.
Well,
of course. Thanks. Much appreciated.
I was just thinking. I was like, you should use that.
Okay, I got the Logic C922, but I stopped using it because I found out that it's laggy. I don't know why it's that. When I move it, you see the shadow rolling, so it's got annoying, so I stopped using it.
I mean, as far as I can tell, I look pretty clear, and there's not much like any delay between me speaking, and I'm using my iPhone as the webcam, and I'm using these through my MacBook as the microphone and stuff.
Wait, you can do that? You can do that?
Yeah.
So I got a question with that. It does need to be tethered to the laptop or you could put it anywhere.
You can do wirelessly, right?
No
Oh, okay.
wires. See, no wires. Completely wireless.
Oh, okay.
So you
Cool.
don't have
So
to use cord. You can if you want. Like if you were out and about, and let's say you wanted to use it as like a setup, and you don't have a Wi-Fi network, you can like tether it, and then essentially, you could use it that way.
Yeah.
so you know what I could do? I could use that and do everything there, and then if I want to, because you know how sometimes StreamYard got a delay, I could use my tablet as secondary to watch the comments stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
that's
that
what I
sounds
do.
perfect. Okay,
That's what I
bingo.
do. I yeah,
Thanks
and
for
and
that.
it's all you got to do is install the server on your side on your computer. You launch the app. You'll install the Epoch Cam server side on your computer. You'll restart the computer, and
Yo,
then you
after
will,
this we'll talk. Yeah, after this we'll
and
talk.
then
We'll get this thing going.
um, and then you can just use it, and it connects right away, and then you just select it as your camera in StreamYard, and it shows up. And of course, with StreamYard, whatever you set the last time is like the default. And even like when
Correct.
somebody asks you to join a StreamYard, I like it just because it's wireless, so I can just use my phone. But I'm not on my phone. I'm still using my computer, and I can adjust it. And like if I wanted to, like, let's say I wanted to show, I don't know, these earbuds, but from like a top-down perspective, you've got the
That's awesome.
Oh, cool.
so. And it's
Yeah. So
smooth. Like you saw, I did that, and it didn't.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
It
thank you,
didn't
thank
make
you.
things trippy. You saw that, like
Yeah.
it didn't make it all. So, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So once again, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll talk and then I'll install everything after this quick.
It's pretty easy. I
Yeah.
I tried using a couple others. I tried using there's one that's called like iReune, which is like Android and Apple compatible, but I didn't like it. And even like the paid versions of stuff, some of the other versions are either way more expensive or like
Not
only
enough
Windows
features.
compatible or only
Hmm.
Mac compatible, and I didn't want that. So this way I can use it with my MacBook, I can use it with my desktop, I can use it with my Galaxy Book Pro 360, my Razer, I can use it with anything. I've paid for it once on my phone. I use it on my iPad. I can put it on my iPad and use it too because it's a universal app.
Hmm.
So technically, when I send that to you, you could install it on your iPhone and your iPad if you wanted to, and you could actually have dual angle if you wanted. So
Ooh, yeah.
Wait,
Ooh,
I should
cool.
buy. How much is it?
$8.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
And
Cool.
it
Right
supports
on.
4K
Upgrading my skills.
60. You can use front or back cameras, any of the cameras. It's got like a AI green screen mode in it, so if you have decent lighting and behind, like it will turn on like a green screen thing.
Bro, I should give
Um,
Taylor and see what he says.
it's pretty cool. I I don't know. I really like it. It's been smooth. I haven't had any issues. They update quite often. They add features like that green screen thing was just added. I didn't even know it until I went to launch the app. You can use like your phone's microphones as well if you want through it. But obviously I don't do that.
Bro,
I
there's,
do
a,
it with my kids.
there's a free version. What's the free
So
version?
there is a free version to try, but there's like limitations on. I think that after so often you got to pay for it, and it's like, or it's limited to resolution. It might be limited
It's
to,
only 720p.
yeah, and I don't know if
It's
you have,
a big one.
yeah, and I think you have to be hardwired for it. I can't remember. I know there's some
Oh, okay.
limitation.
And
So
you know
don't
what
worry.
some apps do?
And there's
Some
and
apps, they'll give you like 4 days trial, and then after you got buy. It depends.
portrait mode. What?
Yeah, so it's got
The
all the different stuff.
Oh, cool. That's perfect. Yeah.
This app looks
So
sick.
I'll do that quick and start after this, and I'll have it every
Bro, you can
yeah,
do
I'll
it
have
in
it everywhere.
OBS. It says.
Yeah, because you can use it with anything. Because here is, for example, what my normal camera looks like on my MacBook, which is just kind of awful.
How come mine's better?
And then for comparison, the Epoch Cam is way clearer.
Oh, you know, I think
And I can flip it around and use the front camera, so that way I can actually see what it's seeing me. The only thing about that is I've noticed that this is a little bit more noisy, even though they're both 4K 60, because the sensor in the back is obviously larger.
correct.
And you can use so when it's on the back, though, there is a way to use
Wide angle.
where is you can use where is why am I not seeing
When you set it up, you can airdrop it to your Mac.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, when you set up, if you're using a Mac, one of the cool things they have with it is you can airdrop the setup file to your Mac.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Is
But
this
if you're using it,
yeah, I was gonna ask you a quick question. Sorry to interrupt you. If this is done by a YouTuber, because that name sounds familiar. That name sounds familiar. Like he reviewed mics, like podcasters. He got the same type of style channel. If I'm not mistaken.
No, that's
that sounds familiar.
That's EPOS Vox. This is EPOCCAM. It's
Okay,
by
got it.
Elgato. It's Elgato. You know,
Okay,
Elgato that makes stuff. That's the company that does the app. That's probably why it's so good and reliable, and why it's a little bit more expensive than
because if you go look at the later releases, it shows all the Elgato stuff.
Okay, cool.
Why it's a little, why it's not $4 and it's $8 or whatever.
Or it's free.
Or there's a free version of it, but
I forgot the saying that Siggy say, pay twice, pay nice, something like that. So
Definitely.
yeah, I'd rather pay once, not twice. That's a good app. I can't wait to install it. Oh, and you know what is good? It's good for traveling, because you travel, you don't have to be confined. You could use that equipment. You know what I mean?
There is, like I said, there is the free one that's limited to 720p. So if you're just using it for StreamYard and stuff all the time, but I like the fact that the paid one is up to full resolution and stuff, and some of the features, because then I can just sit down, launch it, and I can use OBS and record, or even QuickTime recording, and record right to my computer through it, but have my computer to kind of see it and be able to control stuff, and you can do overlays and all that fun stuff with it that you can do with
Yeah, Elgato's a good company in the streaming industry.
And
it's audio.
And $8 to get the full 4K and all that stuff.
It's cheaper than a webcam.
Yeah, true. Well, if anybody got a question, they could put them on the comments, so we could answer to the best ability.
So I'm trying to figure out is where the I'm trying to find something. Oh yeah, look at that! It has background blur.
Yeah,
it's not very good on that.
That's cool.
It's not very
good. Maybe if you got more lighting, maybe it'll get better.
Yeah, I think. Let me see if I flip to the back camera and I turn on background blur. Is it any better? Nope, not really.
Let me see. Leave it right there for a minute. Let me see if I could pick you.
I'm gonna install the driver.
Okay, why is it not picking you? How would I put you in the front? I click on you, right?
You gotta I can't remember how that works. You gotta select me and then hit make
solo layout.
Yeah. So this is the blurred. It's not it's trippy. It makes it's more like maybe somebody's drunk and looking at you mode than anything else. Because in the normal,
But maybe if you got more lighting, they'll fix the situation. Maybe, who knows?
yeah, if you had like a green screen behind you and better and like full on lighting and not just using like a lamp. Because even I think if I were to do this and turn on my ceiling light, I don't know that that would make much of a difference. But I mean, the feature is there. It's kind of cool. Let me see here.
Yeah.
A
With
little
updates,
bit.
they'll get better.
Nope, it's not really that much
No,
better.
it's not
I'm
good.
surprised
it's no
that
bueno.
it doesn't use the back, that they're not using the LiDAR cameras from the back, because then it should be spot on.
Well, maybe with an update, who knows?
It could be. Maybe they will update and use that, and also use the APIs for the new portrait, like how you can use portrait in FaceTime and stuff like that they have.
Mhm.
That they'll add that as to be able to be used for stuff like this, because
Wait, would I have to leave the stream to get this to work?
Who know? I don't know. Just
probably because
do
I
what
think you
you
have
gotta do.
to. I think it has to reestablish the
Connection.
connection into like the.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
I don't know. When I set it up, I think if I remember correctly, I ended up having to restart my computer to get it for the server to permissions and everything to establish and connect through.
So you have anybody think about podcasting, stuff like that in the future?
I've thought about it.
Me
I've
too.
also thought about like StreamYard now has a pre-recorded video mode where you can like live stream a pre-recorded video. So I also thought about an interesting thing of like if I were to that would
Isn't
be
that the same concept of Premiere? It's almost the same concept of live Premiere.
sort of. But my thought was like the ability to like for example, I could record footage using like my different phones and stuff and create a video from it as like a comparison, and then bring that in and have that playing live and then like talk over it live, which would be different than premiering the video. It would be playing live and then I would be like discussing like my thoughts on it and like all that stuff, and so it'd be added footage like into a live stream. So it'd be like doing a video like people do where they narrate it or they do a voiceover, but live, and then people can also comment and respond, and you can respond in person. So it'd be like a premiere, but in person and a video combined together, I guess.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Or like, I don't. If you had a video that was really long that you did, you could like bring that in and then play it and then pause and then like respond to that segment and then keep going or whatever. Or for like maybe no, because you could do that by screen sharing a video. Like if you did like a live stream where you like respond to somebody else's video or something, you can already do that. I think this is just a way of uploading it, so it's there's no delay and your audio and everything is in sync. Where if you're trying to do it from like because we've all seen what happens when somebody tries to live stream one of their own videos and talk about it, and the delay that's in there.
So in other words, you got the ease of usability. That's what I like about it. It's easy, so it's much easier. So less interruption, less stuff like that, like you say. You know what I'm saying? So, and anybody in the panel getting any new phones? No, I don't know. That 6 got me intriguing, but I'm not sure. Thank you for coming in, Sharky Finn.
That guy's all over the place.
I was setting. My fault. I was setting up, so I had a little delay for like 5-6 minutes. So that's my apologies. But yeah, anybody got questions, answer, put them. But honestly, this live stream is gonna be deleted because this is like a throwaway live stream. So You don't have to worry about likes, comments, stuff like that. I mean, you could put them like to my best ability, but they're just a chill stream. Nothing that I'm gonna keep. Just testing different equipment, like I said earlier, and different stuff. So yeah, anybody want to say something? So don't be too awkward.
Unlike my 2-hour stream that I did, which is not a throwaway stream because I feel like there's too much good topic
Oh no, you're
content
fine.
going on there. I think I want to do clips from that though, because I think it would
Yeah,
be
you
worth
should.
going in and grabbing like some segments out of there,
Mhm.
and then uploading them, and then creating a playlist of them.
Yeah, I mean, my recommendation for that is get a clip of the comment and then you answering the comment part of it. That could be one video part of that series you're doing based on that video that was 2 hours. Like you know how Sharky Finn asked some questions, and then after that you could put you put his question at the beginning of the video and then you answer it. That'll be good. That's my suggestion.
I'm also thinking about, because I had that whole like thing that I said at the end that like came out really well. It was kind of there was like that point in which I kind of summed up everything I was saying, and there was another, putting those as 2 separate clips. And the other thing that would be good to do is for me to go in and put in chapters.
Correct.
Because that's really pretty easy to do. I mean, that's a lot to play back and watch, but I can kind of scrub to and see, okay, I popped up a comment here and like kind of get to it and then figure out the exact point and then put in the chapters. But it shouldn't be difficult to do. Just have to watch through it once, and when I hit the spot, put in a time marker there, wait for the next thing, put in a time marker there. Actually, I think I'll do that, because if I put in chapters first, then it'll make it really easy to go back and grab clips. So the only problem with it being such a long stream is I'm literally going to have to rewatch the thing almost in live time. I mean, I'll be able to skip through because I'll know, like, here I was talking for 15 minutes on the same thing, so skip like 10 minutes.
Hey, what up, my brother? How you doing, China So Lit? Yeah, they're just a chill stream testing different stuff and nothing serious, just a couple of questions, but afterwards I'm gonna delete it. If anybody want to get invited, just put the word invite and I'll send you a link.
Is he lit?
Yep, that's his channel. I was gonna say something. So how long you been using the webcam app? More than 4 months, right?
Every live stream that you've seen me on since I was only using my regular camera for a couple of live streams and a couple of videos. So basically anything you've probably seen me on in the last 6 months or so has probably been on this.
Oh. And I told you right now, it's very clear and reliable. I never seen no stutter or interruption because of the webcam. So, I mean, you know, Elgato it's a good brand. So Elgato
I actually noticed something. If you look at that right there, that's a curtain rod. It's out of focus. That's just like the natural focus from the iPhone lens. I don't have anything on other than that. I was like, wait a minute, that's out of focus. And so is stuff behind me. It's just that natural fall off because that main sensor's got a pretty wide. So.
Oh, and I forgot to mention something earlier. I got a curtain that is my logo. I didn't put it for the trash in because I was running late. So that's another thing. I mean, you and I will talk off of this live stream, so you give me more idea to see how to position all that. You know what I mean? Because I know you've seen it before.
Yeah.
Another person, thanks for coming in, Savage Scientist.
Oh my God.
So, I'm missing something. Oh, there you go.
Savage Scientist.
Well, where's Taylor? I haven't talked to him in a while.
Oh, he stepped out for a minute because I invited him, but he said he was out doing some things, so he was not able to make it.
I think he's going on
Everybody
vacation.
got their excuses all the time. I'm just kidding.
Hey, he's going on vacation, isn't he?
No, he's having fun. He's in a good place. You hear
They're
Well, what do you think of that?
police?
Look at this controller.
Mm.
Hello,
That's
Big
pretty
John Tech Reviews. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry, I know
Oh,
you got it. I just sometimes forget that I'm not in my own live stream for a second and start
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's
greeting
fine.
people.
But now that you said that, thanks for reminding me. I want to say something I haven't said for a while, and it's my intro. I gotta say, I love my intro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Tech for Your Needs. Welcome to the live stream. It feels good to say that. Woo! Thank you for reminding me. I didn't say that in a while. Oh, did you saw? I also got a you know how people call different type of stuff they channel like for their viewers. I already make one that is Take Loving Mama, and that one I like it a lot, and that's the one that I'm using. I did a poll with it, so give me a second. So I'm just trying to go to my channel because I put it on the. Let me see. I pinned the comment, so I'm gonna type it over here. This is the same way that I'm gonna hashtag it, and I'm gonna explain what it is. Hashtag this way, okay? Give me a second. So while I put you could talk. Go ahead, talk for me while I put this in, if you don't mind.
Have
One
you
of
seen
y'all.
I Justine's new channel header at all?
No, I gotta look into it.
Wait, she has a new one?
Yeah, it's different. Somebody on Twitter commented and tweeted it out, and she was like, "Oh, you're the first one to notice."
I thought she was making a second channel.
No, she's got this new header here, and it is.
There you go. I posted. I posted what it stands for, and that was Take Love Your Mama gave me about 90%, and then Holla at Your Boy finished it, and Big John Reviews gave me the last 10%. Let me know if y'all like it. So that's what I call in my views. You know how tag has hashtag tag something, so that's what I'm doing. So let me put it up there. That's what it is. That's what it stands for. So tech
Alright.
fun. So it'd be like tech for your needs, and then I'm cool because I didn't want to use squad and peeves. That was already used like a lot. So y'all let me know on the comments if y'all like it and everything. I like it. So the way that I spell it over here, let me go back. This is the way that I'm gonna do hashtag, and then those two letters, all those letters be big, and then just like that, I'm gonna hashtag. So every live stream. So I got somebody working a logo for that. So it'll be animated. So when I do my live stream, because I already bought StreamYard, it'll be like transparent, and then it'll be moving around little by little, the letters like in a circle. So
So I shared
that's what
something
I'm
with
doing.
you. So that's her new her new channel art thing, and I thought it was
Oh, right here.
interesting, very colorful. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I could do this because I'm new to all this. So, okay, so you share it. So how would I share screen then?
All you
Click on
should have
me.
to do is click on it, and it should show up.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm clicking on it, but nothing's coming.
She's
You
verified in Twitter.
you should be able
Yeah,
to
why
just
isn't?
click and have
Oh,
it
it
pop
said
up.
action stream. There you go.
Yep, there you go.
Oh
So that's
yeah, I
just a
see.
screenshot of her new, and it's a newer. It's very colorful.
Yeah, I
Gaming.
wonder
Twitter.
why she went to this route because she never been a colorful person that I know of.
I
Probably
like
just
it.
to stand out a little bit different. You
That's
know,
pretty sweet though.
and she's been, covering a lot of different products and a lot of different more colorful aspects of things. So,
And you
um,
know who else got a logo every month? Nothing but tech.
yeah,
But I like her. I like her that she do funds. She do hidden reference inside the logo and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So, so that's what it's
T
good.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm glad that the Tech Loving Mama gave me the name. She came with it, everything. Yes, I was just thinking different ways to put it, but since the poll was 50%, I just left it like that. So what
I
is
think
it?
it's
What
I
what
think
is
it's funny that everybody abbreviates me as MPT.
RD all the time?
I'm just gonna start doing that as my name from now on. I just
Okay,
should
here.
just
Don't you wish we could do this? Face
there we
ID
go.
app.
Do
Yeah,
what?
because what it is that sometimes I'm lazy to do add the symbol and then type the name, because if I'm in my tablet, it's not like the computer to come up and you could click on it. So I just put MPT. Maybe that's the same reason other people do it like that. Yeah, so I never check. Give me a second. Check something quick. I need to know how much subscribers that I have right now on my channel. So I'm gonna check right now, and I'll tell you in a minute. Well, currently I have 760, which is not bad. It's not bad. I mean, a little focus more. I think at the end of the year I could hit 1K if I focus. So I'm gonna give it a try. And I already had the
There you
pet
go.
talk with myself. And I already had the pet talk and everything. So I'm here. Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. It lets you use emojis. That's awesome. Miles, look at the screen. Look up. Not this guy.
Oh.
I love it.
Oh
Uh,
wow. That's cool.
I didn't know you could do that. That's awesome.
Wait, you can do that?
It just let me change my name in the middle, so I'd just be like, not this guy.
Wait, what if you put a heart emoji? It doesn't work.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it should
wonder.
let you use any of the. Let me go in and see if I change my name. I'm gonna put my name as.
That wannabe.
And
Hold
also,
on.
I'm thinking anything that you wanna the people on the comment, if you wanna give me any constructive criticism, my setup, how to better, I'll listen to everybody. It's just taking information and put it all together to my best ability, which one works. So that's
What
what I'm
the
doing.
heck?
Y'all could change it. Oh yeah, you could change the emojis. That's what's up.
Yeah, I
So
can
based on
set
the
my
comment,
name as an emoji or whatever you want. Basically, you just can't put
or
it. You just gotta be.
uh, you could change it every often as the conversation goes. Make it funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean, I forgot that you can like edit your stuff. You can change your avatar like in the middle of a live stream.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
Let me
I want
see.
to ask something. Miles, how long you bought your computer? Because you bought it recently, right? What you got,
When
the
did I
Air
get
or the Pro?
the air? When did I get it? I don't remember.
I think it was
Michael
like
knows.
almost 2 months
Michael
ago,
knows
right?
when I got it. Michael knows when I got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
like a month and a half ago, right?
No, it's been longer.
I'll say
Three?
two. I'll say two. I can't remember no more.
I can go on Apple and check, right?
Actually, I got 14 months. I have my tablet because I asked yesterday because I bought it through T-Mobile, my iPad Pro. I was surprised because I thought I had it like 8 or 9 months, but when they told me 14 months, I was like, oh, for real? That's cool.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Microphone, camera, phone, laptop, and then channel me. I've seen people do that. Like I know Gigi and stuff has like she'll have like certain emojis in her. She's had certain
Yeah, that's
emojis and
true.
then her name. I've seen people do with like well TLM
May.
heart
I
quite
got
often
it.
has
I got it in
has the
May.
heart. I was gonna say it's
May.
been
What's
a
that?
couple months.
Yeah, May. So like 3, right? I think it's been that long.
I can't believe it's August 7th already. Dang.
Yeah.
We're
No,
already
How about you?
2/3 of the way through the year. We only have 4 months and 18 days until Christmas.
You know what?
shit.
You know what's good about this coming up? The fall. Spice, pumpkin spice latte. That's what I like. It's one of my favorite coffee.
I got it May 12th.
Let me see what's right here. Can I check a link? Oh yeah, sure. Let me send them a link if you don't mind, Michael, please.
I got it.
Cool. Because I don't want to do something wrong and end the stream by mistake. We're all having fun, so let's have fun.
Or I should have
Doesn't
it.
matter.
Hold
I
on.
love how it says I can still track my shipment.
Shark Fin Tech and next and make sure I send him the right link. StreamYard. Make sure I send him the one that would be awkward if it was the one from my stream because he would get there and there would be nothing.
I've done that before. I went to your stream by mistake, and I was waiting, and I picked the wrong one, not the newest one. So I done that mistake. I was like dumbfounded, and then after like 1 minute, it dawned on me. Oh, I picked the wrong link. I gotta pick the newest. Because because sometimes you don't delete everything, every conversation on Twitter. You leave it there so you get confused. You know the worst thing? Now that we're talking about embarrassing moment, my embarrassing moment on live stream is when I did a live stream and I was running late and I never turned on my mic and it was off with the audio, but I went through the whole thing. And nobody told me nothing. Everybody kept listening to me. I was amped. I was hyper. I was just like extra animated and everything and giving advice. And one. I forgot to turn on the mic. I was like, for real? That's when I had the halo light in the back. I was like, oh, hell no.
Bro, I went to Microsoft on my computer.
Oh, you installing the app?
Bro, I hate tax is so high here. Freaking taxes.
Yeah, so as far as purchasing things in this year, but the year's not over, the best equipment that I invested was my audio, the Rode Wireless Go 2, and thanks to the Uncle Sam stimulus and everything, that's why I got it. So I'm happy with the audio. I've been using it. I lent it to somebody, and they were successful with the interview. So quality as far is good.
I was checking to see if my wife had left her sister's yet, and nope, she's still there. Making sure she's okay.
Fun, so...
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My son,
check in.
He'll be fine. It means he'll sleep in good tomorrow, or he'll fall asleep on the ride home.
He's having fun.
It's just they're about an hour. What's that? About an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes away. So, but they're having fun. It's all good. I just one of those people. I want to make sure she's okay. I was like, I haven't heard anything in a minute.
Yeah, give me a second while I bring in
technology is amazing. Technology. I got to tell you, being able to the whole family find your family, and I can track my car and stuff. So.
Wait, yeah, just give me a second. Let me bring the guests in.
Yeah, I have the T-Mobile Sync-Up Drive, which has the GPS in it.
And there he goes. Thanks for coming in, Sharky Fin.
What's going on, guys?
Just chilling, just a throwaway stream. Nothing, just testing my equipment. Because I'm coming back Monday. This Monday, I'm coming back to live stream, and I'm finishing my video tomorrow. So.
Oh, nice, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we missed you, and I can't really, I'm actually kind of in the same boat. I know you just took a bit of a break, whatever. I'm kind of in the same boat, trying to just get everything together. I don't want to seem like mall talk, no action. I'd say probably some people perceive that at this point. I hope not, but I'm not normally that way. But, yeah, like you always say, Lewis, and others say, it's like no excuses. I just need to get it together. And, it's a question of a mic and a camera besides this one. Not that this one is bad, but for shooting other stuff, this is the tablet, the S7 Plus, and it's not really ideal for, the type of stuff I want to do, especially if it's outside or anywhere outside of this room or whatever, so.
But there's a piece of advice that I give everybody. If you are a beginner, upgrade your skills. Don't upgrade your equipment, because if your equipment is upgraded, it's still going to be $2 video if you don't know your equipment. That's my advice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the cameras on that are quite spectacular. I mean, we all see Jay Williams constantly streaming from his Tab S7 Plus and other people that are joining on streams with them and stuff. For me, the real concern more is like if you're in a smaller room, the echo you get. If you're not using earbuds or something, sometimes like people get, or like, they'll get echo from what's coming through. But even if they're using earbuds, sometimes they get room echo, and there's all sorts of fun more with that. And that's a simple. Somebody posted on Twitter, and you saw, and I think you liked the comment about Fit Blonde Tech was asking about starting to stream and stuff. I was like, just use your iPhone in this app and just buy like this $60 or $50 microphone on Amazon, and you spent like between taxes and stuff like $65. You already own the phone, and you just saved a ton on not having to spend a few $100s on a camera that you don't need. You're doing a live stream, even if you're doing 1080p, you do not need to invest in a even $500 regular camera. It's like you can buy an app. You can use a great camera on your phone that you already have.
Right.
Spend a little bit on your audio, and I mean, you'll be good to go. It's cheap. It's portable. You just plug it in with USB. Yeah. I mean, the only thing about that particular one is like, if you don't have a USB dongle and your computer just has USB-C, then you got to use an adapter. But I mean, those are cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me, because I've owned a number of Samsung devices, I have a few of those, just regular USB to USB-C, the little dongle that Samsung used to send with their phones. I have a bunch of those around that work
I remember those.
for that. And I have my J5 Create brand from Best Buy dongle that I got, and I have another one too. I have one that I bought after that too, because that original one I got gets way too hot. But like a $3 adapter or whatever is really all you need for that. It doesn't have to be anything super expensive, because it's just transmitting USB. It doesn't have to, you don't have to buy some fancy 12-in-1 dongle just to.
Right. Yeah, and I also want to say something. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, how do the mics sound on this? They sound good, right?
Yeah, they sound good.
So because there you go.
If you think about it, yeah, I mean, you could upgrade your equipment little by little, but right now what you got is great, because the equipment takes you so much, but also the personality, the storytelling, how you interact with people on the live stream and make it fun engagement, that also take a place. Because some people, as long as you got decent audio, people come for you, and that's what it matters.
Right.
Because I guarantee when I was sitting in front of my live stream earlier with my $300 in audio equipment between my microphone and audio interface, and using my iPhone as the web camera, that nobody would have thought, oh, he's actually got less technically, and not. I mean, obviously the cost of the phone, but if you don't consider like the cost of they spent $8 on an app, they probably thought I spent more on my video than I did on my audio, but nobody knows. Like,
wow.
They're there to hear you talk. That's it, right? They're there to hear you talk. So it doesn't matter. And I could have I could have literally went out and bought like a iPhone 7 Plus for like $80 used on Amazon
Right.
or whatever they are, and thrown the app on there, and it would look basically the same. I mean, Zach Talks Tech he was live streaming for a little bit using an iPhone 8 because it was
Wow.
his was it his
11.
12 or yeah, well his other iPhone was in the shop being
Yeah,
fixed.
the 11.
Nobody would have said, "Oh, that looks bad," or nobody would have known that he was even using a
Wow.
different one for his top down. Like
Wow.
nobody would,
Yeah.
like if he hadn't said anything, nobody would know. And I guarantee
Right.
nobody would have known for that I've been using my iPhone for the last 6 months to live stream
Wow.
because I have my lens for my A6100. It's a 30 millimeter, and you don't need to see me from like this perspective because that's what
Right,
it would look
right.
like. Like that's the thing. It's an illusion. I mean, video really. We're magicians in a way.
Right.
It's an illusion. Nobody really knows unless you tell them what equipment that you're
Exactly.
using. Wouldn't anybody know that I'm using $300 microphone and an app on my phone if I didn't say anything versus somebody that's using like $10,000 Red camera hooked up and
Right.
$10,000 and not? Maybe if you're an audio expert and you like listen for the little intricacies, but I'm streaming and it's being compressed, or I'm
Exactly. I
recording
was
a
just gonna
video
say
and it's
that,
being
yeah.
compressed. Like,
Right. So if MKBHD, for example, did a live stream, if he ever did, I don't think he hardly ever does any anyway, right? But just hypothetically, if he did, with his $10,000 or whatever Red camera, it's going to be compressed anyway. So it's what 1080p tops with StreamYard or Restream or whatever at most, right? So you're not really going to see the advantages, right? That's kind of the whole point of this, right?
I
Yeah,
mean,
the only
even
difference, to be honest, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even if you were using Ecamm Live, which lets you do 4K video streaming, and you have the bandwidth to do it, I guarantee that, like, if I use the right lighting and I have everything hooked up just right, the difference between that and, like you said, like him sitting down, if he was going to sit down there with a, with a A7S3 or A7R or a 6K Red or whatever, and a $10,000 micro. Yeah, you can hear some differences, but like,
right?
Does that really matter? Like knowing the difference and seeing it versus does that make a difference? Not really, because if I was on there and I'm sitting there with a $15,000 camera and $10,000 in audio equipment, but I'm there like like the whole time, that would be way worse than if I'm just spewing on information. I could be there with a 480p. I could be there streaming from an iPhone 4. If you can hear me, you can see me, and you can understand me, and what I'm talking about, the story I'm telling, the value I'm providing matters more than I think. Like that's 95% of it. Obviously, the reason audio matters is if you can't hear me, and the reason video matters is if you can't see and I'm showing you something. But apart from that, I could be sitting there, with no video up and just talking, and that's what matters. So
yeah, and also I'd like to add one more thing. So give it content to this and value to this. That honestly, if you see, 'cause sometimes I do two things. Sometimes I go with guests. Sometimes I go by myself. The reason I do it with myself because I'm forcing myself to learn how to speak better in front of the camera. So by you doing it by yourself, you learn a lot. See, in that process. So that's why I go back and forth. I do it
AirPod
myself.
Pros.
I do it with people. Oh,
yeah, but what
I
I'm
got
showing
those,
is like the point is that your phone, the focus that your phone has, because it's infinite focus. So unless I hold it too close, as long as I hold it up and it's within what I know is my range of focus, there's no like real perceptive, and it moves away, it goes right to me, because essentially the smartphone it's a prime lens. So it's as long as you're within the range of the nearest point of focus to the furthest that it can take, nobody notices. Where like a DSLR will physically change like physically change its focus. It will change the distance between
Right.
the panels of glass that are in the lens to shift the focus.
Right.
Even if it's a prime lens, the focus will change. It just
Right.
means it's a fixed. The end of the lens is fixed. You have a fixed length, but it doesn't mean those panels inside that lens won't shift to change focus. They can't do that on my smartphone. Now some can. Some actually have. They're
Right.
working on technology to do that. So but the advantage is those don't have to shift the focus. So it's like instant. You know.
So
I think the
so
whole
Sharky,
bouquet thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I got a question. So since you changed your name and everything, since you said you was in the finance industry, so um, just one thing, because I was in the finance industry, I worked for a bank, and I used to work
Oh, really?
on it's like a 300 years bank, and I'm from Boston. So
Yeah. Yeah.
what I learned, I used to
I
work
went
with
to
a
school in
routing
Boston. I
number.
think I told you that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, so
Yep.
I was doing routing numbers and stuff like that. But I'm not a numbers guy. I like technology for the average consumer stuff like that. So my question is, what make you get into this niche type of stuff?
To make my channel or what I want to do, you mean focus more as much or more on finance than I'm going to be on tech?
No, because you're a finance tech guy, but then you got tech on your channel. So then your channel is gonna be only tech, or it's gonna be both infused.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair. No, totally cool question. Yeah. Well, that's kind of that was kind of the idea of combining them, right? So Shark's been my nickname for, oh God, I don't want to date myself too much, but over 30 years, right? And then some friend of mine back in the day started calling me that around college or even before that a bit. But and then Shark, Fen be finance, and also FinTech is financial technology, right? Which could
Oh, he
include
got it.
brokerage firms, right? And then the tech is tech. So I kind of get all three of them plus my nickname Sharky all in one thing. So that's kind of how I came up with it. And I kind of did a little search to see that no one else had the exact same name on YouTube. And I even had backups thought of like dorsal fin or something like that. But
Oh,
yeah, I think the main focus is going to be finance. The thing I find with tech is just so saturated. Not to say that finance isn't to a degree as well, but I mean, you guys are all great, and I mean, put in everyone else that we're in the same circles of, Gigi, Barry, LaShawn,
mhm.
Tana, Savage. There's just it's so hard just to get. I don't really have the budget right now to go out and be buying, all Z Fold 3s and Pixel 6 Pros and all the rest of it, and just be doing product reviews and all that. Now I know there's other stuff you can do, and that's probably within the tech part. That's what I'm going to focus on, right? That's kind of like what I like about you, Lewis and Michael. You do stuff. You don't just like the thing today was fantastic, Michael, about the Apple with the whole privacy issue. So you're not just saying, oh, let me get the latest and greatest phone or tablet or laptop or whatever, earbuds, watch, and just do a straight up review of it. It's like let me try to add value that people will still find, quality content that people will still find interesting and want to watch. But I'm not saying and doing the exact same things that everyone else is. And even
And you
in
know what else I
finance,
learned?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Also, I learned by John Prosser that you could be a tech channel, but don't let the product dictate your channel, because then you'll be slave to that. Then that's money. You could do news, you could do ad reviews. That's all
Right,
part of tech. So
right.
like my name was a slogan, and my niece said you cannot say your name because this is a soccer player, football player that it got that name, so you're not gonna rank because he's already famous. So I changed my slogan
Wow.
to my name, and that's what I did.
You mean Lewis and your real last name are similar to a famous pro soccer
Yeah,
player?
the same exact name.
Wow, wow, right. It would be
There's
like
a
saying I'm going to start a channel called Lionel Messi. Oh shoot, there already is a Lionel Messi who already has like 100 million followers, right?
there
Sorry.
there's also a there is a um, host of a fairly well-known tech on a fairly well-known tech channel who has the same last name as Lewis does as well. So
Wow, wow. There you go.
it's a very common last name. It's as
Mhm.
Yeah,
as I've been told, it's like Smith.
Okay, I have an idea
yeah,
then.
it's
Yeah,
very
a lot
very
like
common. Yeah, Because honestly, the definition of my last name, it means in English, strong tree. That's what it means.
Wow. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And my
But
and my nickname
I'm sorry.
is Nano.
But
And I had
I
to be
love tech. I
careful.
like Tech for Your Needs. I think that
I
it's a
had to
great
be
name.
careful because I wanted to just do Michael Tech, but there was a bunch of those, and I
Yeah.
even looked at Pepper Tech, and there's actually a company that handles technology in the medical industry that already had that name.
Wow.
And then
That's cool.
I wanted to do and then I was talking, and then I even looked at doing like Pepper Tech Live. And I was like, crap, that's already taken. Like every other combination was taken. So I was like, well, I'll just go with my name. And the other thing that lets me do is that's my brand. And I can also do like, if I wanted to do, I can do like Michael Pepper Photography, which I already have. I actually have an Instagram and a Facebook for that. And I can do like any other aspect with my name. But then I can do like sub things under the Michael Pepper Tech if I wanted to as well. Like I did have a Michael Pepper Tech Photography, which would be different than my Michael Pepper Photography because it would be photography from the aspect of technology, which is like smartphone photography and webcams and things like that. So I was thinking about it. I was like, branding is a very important thing, and why I didn't go like mobile photography in my name or like smartphones in my name or photography in my name in general. Like that's a stem now from, and I had started a second channel, and I've kind of been like, I don't know that I care. I'm just gonna put my Apple content on my main page, and if people don't like it, they'll leave. If people do like it, they'll stay, and this way I don't have to maintain two channels, and people don't get lost when they're like, why is this guy only uploading twice a month? Well, it's because I'm uploading once a week, but I'm doing 1 week on one channel and the next on the next, and then the back and forth. So I'm actually uploading every week, but only on one channel every 2 weeks, and then that gets really confusing. And then if like there's a bunch of Apple stuff going on, and I was uploading on that channel every week, then the other channel might be only once a month, but I'm really still uploading just as often as I was before. It's just two different channels. So I was like, I'll just put it all on one channel. It's all related. It's all tech. It's all, I can talk about privacy. I can talk about Google. I can talk about Apple. I can talk about Samsung. And I'll just, that's my niche is discussion. My niche is like what's going on in events and privacy and like concerns of that. That's what I can talk about from a point of perspective that's not just like the actual technology being used. Because I didn't once go in there and be like, oh, this is what hashes are. Like, I didn't explain it. I could, but I'm not a computer science hash expert by no means. Like, I mean, we all use them. Like, people don't realize it. We use hashes. Like, how many people you tag your videos? Do you put tags in your, when you tag them at the bottom, when people use tags, when people put hashtag whatever, they are quite literally using hashes. That's the definition of it. The reason hashtags exist is it's a search tech. It's a way of narrowing down and searching based on a particular aspect that exists within an image or a file. That's quite literally what you're doing. You're telling the algorithm where to categorize that particular photo or video or whatever.
Yep.
But people don't realize that. Like, it's funny.
Totally
I'm like,
sense.
You literally are creating the algorithm and helping it, but whatever.
Another thing that I learned from Michael that he told me a lot, that he keeps pulling my ears, because he keeps saying, if you're gonna do a video, you not have to complicate things, make things easy. The ease of use and simplicity is all come more videos. You could do more videos. But you could do a video and not do a lot of layovers or a lot of graphics. You don't have to do all that. Get the same message across and simplify so even a 2-year-old can understand it. And I'm just giving a tip to everybody, for you, anybody else, that simplifying the process is better than complicating it, because you could do a video. You could do a 5 to 10 minute video. For example, this device right here, people say, I don't have enough content for this device. I say, you got 4 videos in one. Unboxing, first impression, camera, what else? You could, and then you could do the review, and based on pros and cons in your opinion, and you got 4 videos, then you could go back and add one more video. Oh, I'm gonna do tips and tricks. See, you don't have to spend a lot of money because that's why I protect your needs, not mobile phone on my actual name. So I could go different route. I could do ad review stuff like that. So therefore, I'm not confined to the product. Like John also said, if you're confined to a product, it's gonna cost a lot of money.
Hmm.
That's my advice.
No, I
My
think that's smart.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
keep it generic. You know.
my slogan of "I don't only talk tech, I live it" is because it's part of your life apart from the hardware and the software. It's literally there's aspects of technology that like people don't think about, and there's things that people don't know when it comes to technology about. Like, quite literally, I dealt with health situations for so long that were never diagnosed until somebody in an ER was like, "Oh, you have," and there's no explanation for why it happens, but for some reason, when you stand up really fast or sit down really quickly, your heart rate shifts, which makes you get lightheaded and likely to pass out. But there is no physiological explanation for that. So just monitor your heart rate. Don't stand
Wow.
up when it's really fast. So you know what? You know what I use for that?
Mm.
My Apple Watch, literally. So if I think my pulse is high, I can go like this, and then I can affirm it with what's on my arm or any other smart.
Wow, that's fantastic. Now, why wouldn't you go with the Apple Watch, Michael? Wouldn't that be more? I mean, that has
I mean,
that
that's
whole.
what I have. That's what I have.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I'm saying.
Sorry.
I have Apple Watch, but
Wow.
I also have a TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. So when I did my review, I quite
Ah.
literally happened to be wearing that watch when I got COVID and ended up going to the ER to get checked out.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know you
so
had it.
when their equipment was monitoring me, it just happened to be that I had it on my arm and was able to
Wow.
go, "Oh, hey, look, the SO2 levels they're getting match. The heart rate they're getting matches." Like, so
Yeah.
it just happened to be that I was like, so they're like, "Oh, when we send you home, where, go buy a $20 SO2." I was like, "I already have one right here." They're like, "Do you know how accurate this is?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been wearing it since I've been in here and looking at your equipment. So if it's not
Wow.
accurate, here's your equipment." That was my thing.
Right.
Like,
That's
so
awesome.
who do I trust? So, but that's
That is
the aspect of life in technology. Anytime you pull out your phone to take a photo of your kids or grandkids, or you're at a wedding and you're recording it, or you're doing a live stream, that's life. Like, people just don't think about that you use it so flawlessly and easily in every aspect of life. I mean, I think you were there when I did a live stream about, or maybe not. I can't remember if you were there or not. You might have been there, and I just didn't know it yet. Because that I know you do that too. We all do that. We're in live.
Am I a lurker? I don't know.
Where we lurk for a minute sometimes until we determine if if it's something that interests us, and we're going to comment. Or sometimes we have nothing to say. But I did a lot where I talked about how technology can be intrusive, and also how technology can like overtake your life, and how a smartwatch can actually make that worse sometimes, because you set down your phone and your watch is still there to notify you, and there's do not disturb and all that. But like, sometimes it's just important to take take your devices and separate them from your life. Where some people think it's an advantage to have a smartwatch because it can notify you, you can just glance. But are you the type of person that's going to pick up your phone now because you're like, "Oh, that's really important"? Where if you didn't have the smartwatch, I went like a couple months without. I went a few months without, at least 3 months without a smartwatch. And one thing I noticed was I actually picked up my phone way less, because it was
Really?
like,
Yeah.
is this moment so like, if I'm spending time with my wife, am I saying to her that this moment is so insignificant that it's important to look at my phone? And it doesn't
Right.
matter if it's my watch or my phone. Like, if I glance at my watch, I'm telling her that it's still insignificant enough. If it's an
So,
emergency,
let me-
somebody's going to call me, and they're going to repeatedly call me until I pick up.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
one way or the other, put it away, And so that was my
So let-
my thing about that. I challenged somebody. I was like, "Hey, don't wear a smartwatch for a while. See if you pick up your phone more often or less." And they had the same thing. It was like they actually picked it up way less because there was nothing to alert them but their phone, and they had to, like, in the back of their head say, is there a significant enough chance that like, is it an emergency? Probably not, or they're going to repeatedly call me. Like,
Right.
do I need to stop what I'm doing and be on my phone? Probably not.
Right.
No.
Right.
But let me use the other side of it. I play devil's advocate. The reason that I wear all the time because I was able to save somebody's life. I couldn't find my phone. I was nervous
Wow.
because I've been in the situation. I called 911 because I know this person been sick around me, and I take care of the person. So I'm not scared when they faint or something. I already know where to look, how to do the vital signs because I took CPR so many years. So I wear it because it gives me the flexibility to call 911 right away, and I was able to to do a couple of stuff, take an EKG for her and everything by having my watch. So that's why I don't take it off. Other than that, because I'm at 7 kids, I'm not gonna say I'm a young person. I never wear watches until this point. Once that solidified that situation, I was able to say the person that I loved the most. I was like, you saw me for life. I can't take it off. And
Wow.
even if I walk 2 blocks away, I'll come back and get it. Because I'm also a second situation. I was out and my phone died, and I was able to call 911 when I saw an accident. That's the second part. So that's the reason that I got it all the time. I don't when it's time to for family, it's for family. I don't pay attention to notifications. But I
Right.
know at least I got the capability of the phone call in case of an emergency.
And you can turn the notifications off too, right? Just like you would on a
Yeah,
phone. Right.
do not disturb and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right. So there
I
it is.
mean, that's what, like, right now, if you were to look at right now, in order for for something not to interrupt the fact that I'm using my phone as a webcam, but just to not bother me unless it's significantly important. If I were to go in here on my watch, you will notice that, well, it's a little bit different, but I am using the focus mode that's in watchOS 8 and iOS 15 and stuff to have a personal mode set, and that syncs across all my devices, including my MacBook. And
Wow.
so, like, my wife and my parents and some family, their notifications will come through, and like a few other apps. But like phone calls from random people, notifications that are not important will not come through. But I can know, like, if my wife sends me a text or try to call me and let me know she's on her way home, that's still going to come through.
Right.
Like that option is pretty cool, and
That's
the fact
something
that it
that's
syncs
actually
across everything is really nice because I
Right.
just activated that on my MacBook, like, and it's occurring on my watch because it happens across all of them. It's pretty amazing to me. Like,
Oh, wait a minute. Let me put this comment back on. Trying to see what he's saying. I gotta go back to the video. So to be honest, I don't know anybody
I
watched that
watched
video.
about half it. It's very good, Savage. I want to see the rest of it. I got sidetracked, but it looked what I saw looked very good. It's actually interesting, and I like the way you explained it. For someone who doesn't, I think probably most. I don't want to speak. I'll speak for myself and speak for everyone here, but I'm not that deep in the tech as to be like Michael said, computer science degree or whatever. So I know you do have one, but you explained it in a way that at least the average tech person, if not even the average layperson, I think can understand it. So really good video. So
Yeah, the most that I studied, to be honest, because I went to college, but I did 98%. I didn't finish it, but I went back to school and I got a network administrator, so the different than
oh, that's
science
fantastic.
technology. Yeah, so and I deal
yeah,
with servers stuff like that. Go ahead.
yeah, I will admit I haven't been watching a ton of YouTube videos lately, apart from reading through some comments to see about like questions that people had, because I didn't want to necessarily bias my own discussion on this topic. Apart
Yeah,
from like
bring them on.
a few people of certain things.
Oh,
So
man.
I will say that I don't even know what Savage's recent video was about.
It's about
Michael,
the
send them a link.
data structures, like the basically the fundamentals of data structures. I mean, you want to come on? Yeah, if Lewis wants, well, the more the merrier.
Yeah. Just send them a link. It doesn't
Oh, a
matter.
hidden message. I don't think I got to the hidden message yet. So okay.
Okay.
And anybody,
see.
Michael or whatever, you can send me the link. It doesn't matter.
Savage There he is.
And you started working kind of tech related too, right, Michael? Or am I wrong?
No, I'm a stay-at-home dad right now, actually.
Okay.
I worked in factory for a little while, and then there's some let's just say I have basically like social anxiety disorder, so it makes it kind of hard to work outside of home. And so I do this. I do YouTube. My wife works outside of home. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the support, and I love what I do as being a content creator because it allows me to communicate with people and still be comfortable. And it's not like I won't leave the home, but like I just
Right.
get really anxious doing
Wow.
stuff. So
That's
I
fantastic.
do what I can do from home, and you know, I've been looking into like working from home and stuff. But a lot of what's been going on with that still requires traveling, and some of them, like their base location, requires you to travel like once or twice a week, and are located like 3-4 hours from here. So I'm like,
Right.
nope. And it would be when my wife is working, so I'd be like, how am I going to do that? Like,
Yeah. But you're on the right track. Now's the time. More and more companies, of course, with the pandemic, are hiring, the work from home, da da da. It depends on the industry, of course. And you're in Michigan, right? And so
yep.
yeah.
So, and I've been looking into actually Tech Love and Mama sent me some links. So I keeping my eye on also tech survey companies and stuff where they'll pay you to do surveys and stuff from home.
Sure.
Some of them are like, you got to do a lot of work to get very little money for it, but others, it's just like they want to know, like, hey, what type of, like, how do you feel about this and that? Like, what type of, and of course, some people are like, well, that's helping them build their algorithm for advertisement. Yeah, but at least I'm knowingly doing it versus them like
and you're getting
just
paid
doing
for it.
Right? So,
and they're going to do it anyway, whether without you. So why not get paid for it, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't have to answer the questions. I don't have to answer. Like, that's a choice I'm making. So,
right.
It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I enjoyed what I'm doing. And also the aspect of being a content creator is building my portfolio as experience as a editor, writer, an actor, being in front of the camera, vocalist, design as far as like designing my thumbnails. And so things like that, the potential idea of down the road as I become more comfortable with that and develop more skill sets with that, being able to reach out to a company and being like, hey, I can do this, or fellow content creators, even as they're posting jobs. I'm not comfortable enough with it right now because I'm just expanding my illustration and like graphic design aspect of things and working on that. But if they were looking for somebody that understands lighting and photography, I mean, that's what my major was. So that's a little bit different. But
there you go.
Mainly right now, everybody's looking for graphic design, and I can't comfortably say, hey, hire me to do that.
Right.
I'm working on it. That's another thing as I've expanded beyond the content and getting my thumbnails perfected or, better. So that's what, like when people say, oh, you're just a YouTuber. Yeah, you try to do 18 different jobs for free and not get paid for it for a while. And even when you are, it takes a very long time before you're in the positive aspect of, because you're probably spending that on product if you're getting, at that point,
Right.
Hopefully that's the idea.
But honestly, you are getting paid because you are upgrading your skills. It's not monetary, but you are getting some skills. And it's just weird because when I went to school, high school, let me say a fact about me. I did a vocational high school. First year, you learn everything. I did 3 years and a half at production, but I don't know nothing because everything was 8-track tapes and everything. In order to edit, you had a joystick back and forth. So what I learned over there, it doesn't apply to now. So I got to learn everything again. So, and most of my job is office work. And the longest job that I had was in the bank industry. So that was almost 10 years ago. So basically, that's just something that people want to learn about me. So, and
there's tons about this. There's all kinds of stuff you could do, Louis, though. I mean, you look at something like, my background is operations, right? So tax reporting is my thing, which is one of the more It's a little more. It's a little more law and math and stuff, but it's not that. It's look, none of this. It's not right. The whole point of my channel, kind of like Michael says, what is it? I don't just what is it? I don't just do tech. I live it. Right.
I don't talk tech. I live it. Yeah.
Right. I love that, and it's the same with me. It's like, the message of my intro. I've been putting together an introductory script for video. Then just introduce myself with all this, and it's like, look, none of this stuff is rocket science or brain surgery. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it. But yeah, so Lewis, I mean, there's like statements, trade confirmations. That stuff is you. I mean, I can even I could try to maybe reach out at some point if you want or something like that. I don't have a ton of contacts anymore in Boston, but it's the same companies that have a branches and stuff up there. I'm in the New York, New Jersey area, but it's all none of this, that stuff. I even like they call pricing. There's a thing called Security Master, which is glossary. That's just how you name a security. It's QSIP numbers and stuff. None of that. You probably heard some of these terms. This stuff. Believe me, trust me. Most of the people doing that stuff you're smarter than the majority. I'm not just saying this to blow smoke on your channel. You're smarter. You're as smart or smarter than the majority of the people that do that stuff. And you know what? You want to hear another thing that might blow you guys' mind just a little bit? A lot of those people don't know jack about. They don't invest. A lot of them don't even do their 401k, let alone have a separate account. So it is what it is. So yeah, there he is.
Hey, Savage. Another thing before we continue.
Hey,
I want to
say
say.
Governor.
So I mean, I know y'all got y'all groove going. I mean, y'all,
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt everything to talk
that's
about
fine.
computer science, but if you look at my graphs video, I made an important point, and I'm gonna get straight to it. If you look at like I think I might have to share my screen for you to see it. But
Okay, go
basically
ahead.
what I'm saying is, if you look, I show how I have links to everyone else's channel in my suggested channel list, and then if you look at my channel, like if you look at it as a graph, then you would see how all the links work. I think you saw that, right, Sharky?
I saw like half of it.
That's the hidden gem in the video. My point was to show how I'm associated with these people on YouTube, and they're not sharing. And they're not showing me the same love.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
And
that's unfortunately true a little bit. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that when you create a community here on YouTube, because I think isn't like if I was to do a graph right now and look at Lewis' channel, I think Lewis is featuring Michael Pepper channel, and Michael Pepper is featuring Lewis channel. Is that true?
Yep.
Yeah, we've both been on each other's
So
channels.
that's my point. And if you was to look at that as a computer science graph, it'll be a bi-directional graph with a link from your channel and a link to his channel. And that they have implications used for all over the world. Like when you get in traffic and you have to go down one-way streets, all this stuff is important. But that was my point for saying that.
Yeah, one-way streets are interesting because that's actually a method that's used by many governments to control the flow of traffic. And based on the study of who they know is flowing through certain areas, they can actually determine the particular aspect of, even as far as maybe the potential job aspects of who's traveling within certain areas.
Oh yeah.
There was actually studies that they were going to do this in and it got knocked down, but they were going to do this in areas like Detroit to flow potentially adjust the flow of traffic of gangs and things like that.
Wow.
There were studies of determined if we can push people in certain directions by controlling the flow of traffic, and we can know who's there. It gets Savage knows. He knows how this works.
Yeah.
It's all.
Police departments, they use this stuff all the time for crowd control, because what you're doing is you making it so traffic is restricted, just like Michael said. I mean, graphs are beautiful. It's everywhere, and the use is beyond. It's just mind blowing, and that's why I put the most energy into this graph video, because I really wanted to bring my point home. And whenever your phones are delayed, well, guess what? whenever if you was to look at a graph of things coming out of Northern California, then it's going to be all red, delayed, and all that because of the fires. So
Wow.
that means you're gonna have to take the longer route in order to fulfill your logistical obligations.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's
You talking
important.
about you talk about Savage? You talking about on the towers themselves? Or you talking about just the whole network? Or
I'm just talking about the grid network. The grid
right?
network.
Okay.
I mean, the highway, the transportation system, the interstates and the state routes, all that stuff, all the roads. You know, when you look at them on Google Map, that's like they actually put a edge weight on it, and if the road is congested, they're gonna paint it red. And I'm basically using that information, and that's the same. That's graph theory. And
There,
like the two connected cities, if you're going from Humboldt County into Reno, Nevada, then you're probably gonna somehow take Interstate 80 through San Francisco, or some way you're gonna have to get out that way. So you're gonna have to go across the fire. And if you were to take the normal route, but now you got to go that longer route.
this has been so my dad worked for the state of Michigan. He worked for eventually it was the Emergency Management Division of the Michigan State Police of Homeland Security was what it became after, when the lovely federal government made basically emergency management come under Homeland Security after 9/11 when they basically like absorbed that into the department. So then he worked that for almost 20 years. And one of the things that's interesting that I was talking to him about not too long ago and made me think is so there's protocols that have been set up, and this would be close to where Tech for Your Needs lives after the Boston Marathon situation.
Yep.
So now one thing that
I'm 12 minutes away walking distance.
One thing that has to be covered is not only mass hysteria and the amount of devices that connect to a network and attempt to, which causes a flood of the system and actually makes it so like nobody can get through.
Right.
Is also device shedding. So when they leave that area in panic and they head outwards, where are they going and what towers are they connecting to? And it's going to overflow and cause issues on those. So they can't just make it so that there's potential that there's enough emergency networks in the area to handle those calls, but surrounding areas. And so my dad was part of a program, and I can't think of what it stands for, but it's called ADAM, and it's an anagram for something. It has to do with training for like cross communication. So like Michigan obviously interacts with Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, because that's the area, that's the region that they're part of. But then each of those states would also interact with Michigan, but they would also interact with other states around them, and it branches out, and you have zones. So you have like initial zone of Michigan, and then of course you have the like zone 1, which is those, and then 2, and then so on and so forth, all the way out to California. Michigan was involved with Hurricane Katrina because the damage that was done there was so extreme that they zoned out all the way up to as far as Michigan. And my dad was actually involved with trying to coordinate that and trying to deal with the turds that were involved in government here and the lack of what they wanted to do. And then also some issues with government that was involved down there and them actually kind of wanting to refuse help. It got really interesting.
They had some crazy stuff happening during Katrina. I was in the National Guard at that time, and we had National Guard members from Michigan, but all over California, Washington State, Oregon.
Yeah, so my dad was one of 2 people in the state of Michigan that was trained to be able to work with federal as far as like organization of all that as well, and got the appropriate training and all that.
I got a story with Katrina too.
And I went to Laurel, Mississippi right after Hurricane Katrina and worked there for 2 weeks on houses that were destroyed, helping rebuild houses and all that fun stuff, and got to do flooring and basically went from having no idea how to necessarily. I mean, I understood because I can pick up on information pretty quick, but like it was pretty cool to be given like the all of a sudden the hands-on of like literally I can say that I rebuilt floors in a house from like like literally like redoing supports alongside the old supports and subflooring and main flooring and trim. I helped with all that while other people were doing walls and roofs and stuff. Like I never would have imagined that I would have been sent down there as this kid that was like didn't really do much on hands wise to like knowing how to do flooring and putting in floors in multiple houses in 2 weeks. Crazy.
My connection with Katrina.
What you were saying, Luke?
My connection with Katrina is I work for a call center that deal with the insurance part of it. I did a temp and did it for 3 months, and I used to pick and sometimes I had to step up because, I was born, if you give and I got it, not that I'm a soft person, but some stories I couldn't take it. I had to take a break and cry because there were kids without houses. I used to do the insurance part, and they just told me, well, this is what happened, and to be specific, and I had to type it and pull all that, and it was just too much, but I learned a great deal of that because that gave me strength. Now that I'm in a situation like that, I can handle it better. But I used to do insurance like houses, broken legs, hospital insurance, everything, because it was the call center to deal with all type of Katrina insurance on that aspect. That was what I was signed for. So I had the headset and I used to take calls after calls, and they had to break it down. Some people were like, please, I need it today. I don't have nothing to eat. And sometimes you can't provide because they don't have the proper paperwork and all that. And that's to say, human being broke my heart, but I can't do nothing. I'm in Boston here just working on a call center. But I did what I could to the best ability.
I just remember all the blue tarps on all the roofs. And then one thing that sticks out in mind was driving across this bridge and looking to the side down over to where the cemeteries are. And, those are all above ground. But there were so many extra vehicles there because they didn't have enough space in ground that they were putting trailers to put these people in until they could put them in their above ground permanent storage. Like, I'm like, so there were bodies that were like their final resting place didn't happen for years because they were in a trailer because they were too much, and you can't bury underground, and there's only so far up you can go. So, and just like the devastation.
Oh, they can't. I didn't even know that they can't bury underground. What? Because of the soil is. It's what?
The water.
The erosion. The water table.
Right.
Yeah. They did. And body. I mean, what happens when things float, right? They just kind of. They did. So, quite literally, there were people that lost family members and probably don't to this day know where they are because they did float away at some point.
A lot of those tombs, a lot of those coffins that were floating around actually came out of those out of the above ground tombs.
Wow.
Yeah, they that's actually
people just went around there breaking into them, taking their valuables.
In Mexico, I mean, there's a huge in Mexico and in like Southern America in some of the areas, a lot of the above ground is quite somebody dies, they just put them in there and they push them back with like a broom or like a rake, and then they decay, and then the next person. So if they have mass number of people in a family that dies, like they have to temporarily store them somewhere because you can't just keep shoving in there. I mean, it's gruesome and it's sad, but like that's what was going on then during this same kind of and that's just because of necessity. You can't bury in water, so you can only go up. What was crazy to me was going over the stretch of the road that goes from Mississippi out to that goes over the water, Louisiana there.
I-10 East.
And
the bridge that fell in the water.
Yeah, they were building the new one, and they quite literally built a bridge floating, and then they brought out like barges underneath it and floated pieces over, and then dropped it on the new. And like I remember driving, and there was no guardrails. Like literally driving over the stretch of water,
Wow.
no guardrails.
Train causeway became that became the route into New Orleans, because the interstate was that bridge was like all the parts that you saw floating when I went. That wasn't. I mean, that stuff was total. So I had to go across the other bridge, and it was a long commute in the traffic. I mean, it took about 4 or 5 hours just to get in the city.
Wow.
One of
Is
the
that
guys.
that was the one next to Pontchartrain, Savage, or is that on the other side?
Well, they have one long 24-mile bridge over water.
Okay.
That's the causeway.
Okay.
And the bridge that Michael Pepper is talking about is Interstate 10.
Okay.
They rebuilt that bridge in 2011.
Wow.
Fully rebuilt it. They just made it made it real high, and it looked like it's working great.
Good.
I almost lost control driving from Mississippi to go to Best Buy to buy a damn camcorder. Lost control in New Orleans East,
Jeez.
going 90 miles an hour trying to catch the store before it closed.
The lengths we go to for this tech, right?
I still made it.
Yeah.
You made
I
it.
made it, but I would have. I guess I would have made it anyway. I either was gonna go there in person or as a ghost, but somehow I was able to make it.
It was.
And
You're
it
in-
was
the Lord
You're in
blessed me that
Baton.
night.
You're in Baton Rouge now, though, right? You were.
Yes,
you
I'm
were,
in Baton
you were-
Rouge now.
But you were in New Orleans then. Okay.
Yeah, I was living. Well, I was living in Hattiesburg. Meridian, Mississippi,
Okay.
and I drove all the way to New Orleans because they dropped the price of a camcorder real good to $200. I think it was a $700 camcorder, and it was $200. So, like, oh yeah. I mean,
Nice.
this camcorder is trashed now, but yeah.
I remember
Well, I
it was
mean-
interesting going, and
Go ahead.
we went to the French Quarter, and then of course we were along where the musicians would go perform along the water along Mississippi there, and there's like the staircase and like there was the wheelboat was out there and everything, and it was just amazing to see. And there was this guy that was standing there that had he was covered like in like silver, and he had like the fake dog he was walking, and then you had like the musicians were incredible, and it was great, and like food was awesome, and I would love to go back and not be there because of devastation, and actually be there to like enjoy the time and tour and like go into the restaurants,
ordinary times.
go
Well,
into
that's-
the bars, and go in there with like somebody that knows the area and stuff, and stay in the safe and be in like the safe areas, because I know there's some areas that are not so safe, and you know. It was fun.
You're describing Mardi Gras, Michael, or that was during when you were there for Katrina, to clean up Katrina?
When we were there, I mean, we were there we were there, so we would have been there like Mardi Gras, was not happening, and
Right.
It was interesting, but like just to go to, I mean, because we were there along what's the street? Shoot, I actually took a picture of it because my sister had gotten me a shirt with the name of the street on it, and I can't think of it, but like I found out later.
Bourbon?
Yeah, Bourbon Street. I found out later, though, the area that we were on, Bourbon Street, was probably not the safest for a bunch of church folks. They were like, "Yeah, you got lucky because of how late." Because it was later in the day, and they were like, "Yeah, normally strangers don't come down this way." But because of the time it was not uncommon that everybody was kind of strangers at that point. So, yeah. But like we were there, and then there were a couple other churches, and my one regret was actually not staying longer, because I had an opportunity. I could have stayed a couple weeks longer and ridden back with a different church and stuff. And I just regret not.
It was a great experience.
Yeah, but the one thing that I learned about humanity, that we're talking about every subject, that when it happened, the thing happened, the marathon, I'm like literally 12 minutes away. Exactly. That's where my niece studied, and one of my cousins and everything. It's like a tourist area. I was gonna go there, and 4 times. The last time that I put my clothes, I spilled soda all over. So I told my friend, I'm not going. So that was a sign, because the bomb happened next to her. Lucky that nothing happened to her. But with that, I saw that humanity and people helping each other. I saw that people care for each other. Everybody was calling me, and to this day, I'm still traumatized, because I say, I mean, why one person got to pay for others? It's sad because it is sad in the situation, but I saw the love and the caring. A lot of people is helping each other. They were calling me. There was going to the hospital, visiting people and stuff like that. So there's still hope
It,
for this world. People care. Not everybody's like
Hmm.
that, but you know.
it's pretty amazing, and it's kind of sad that it takes such a travesty for people to
Yeah.
come together, and
Right.
those same people would spend 364 days out of a year hating each other, and they'll spend the one
Right.
day liking each other because they almost died. Like death creating or near death creating such a close. Like I
Yeah.
guarantee that there would be people that would. I guarantee that there would be people that would be hating on each other. I guarantee there are people that would wouldn't like me because of my beliefs or religions or whatever. And same Savage and Sharky and Lewis. But if we were to all be in a vehicle traveling together and that thing almost gets blown up, those same people would be hugging on all of us, scared and trying to help each other and stuff. It's weird. It's like all of a sudden the same things that the same, I guess, blinders they should have on, the same things that they shouldn't be like biased against us, all of a sudden go away when they're about to crap themselves or they're scared, right? Like all of
Absolutely.
a sudden
When
the same
people bored,
aspects
that's
just
what they
go
do.
away. It's weird.
Hate is just an extreme form of being bored. Because after 9/11, it's just like everybody was American.
Mm-hmm.
And when
It's
you watch
weird.
alien movies, everybody is Earthlings because we have a common enemy.
Right. Right.
That's
It's
why
weird.
I mean that was the purpose. That's that is actually the that is the message of Independence Day.
I mean, if you think about military, right? You'll have people of every race, belief, gender, whatever, sexual orientation, like people all together. But what's weird is then when they come back, you'll have that same time where that person's completely like you might have somebody that's a racist, but they're willing to fight alongside of each other, and then they come back and they're back to the. It's weird. Like I don't like the
Yeah.
mentality of like, yeah, we're fighting together, so I got your back until we get home, and then maybe not. Like,
Right.
but
I'm just
I guess
popping
it's
out the
like
chat to see
I
if
guess the idea is like
anyone is chatting.
that person can't hate upon that person because if they do,
Okay.
then when they need that person's not going to have their back if they don't. It's a mutual understanding then.
Right.
When people are comfortable to act a certain way when there's no longer need for support is basically what it ends up being. But the minute that need goes away is when there's like that true opinion comes out.
Yeah,
It's
but
scary and it's
the
sad.
human race is very interesting. The human race to understand the psychology behind because I try to study behavior, why people act like that on my own. This one thing that I've been doing for the past 4 years. Why? Let me give a background story with that. I was watching something online, and then people were talking about how can I pickpocket but with words. Let me give a perfect example. I'm gonna talk about sweater. I'm gonna use Michael Pepper. Michael Pepper, that sweater look ugly. That's the bad way to say it, right? Michael Pepper, I'm telling you that that sweater don't look right on you, so can you change it so you don't get embarrassed? I still got my point across, and I still got what I wanted it in a different way. So see, that's the type of stuff that I study human behavior and stuff like that. Because believe it or not, I was not a smart child at the beginning. I had complication. I started speaking after 4 years old. Nobody knows that, but it's the first time. Only Michael knows that. But the thing that I'm saying this is to let people know that if I could do things and I can make things happen, and then anybody could do it. And basically, it's that's what I've been studying. Why this person act this way, and then why the other person act this way. But then when a tragedy comes, we all are one, and that's the
Yeah.
part that I'm trying to learn. Because, I mean, if we neither of us, we're all the same. We're all humans. You know, there's two categories: boys and girls, females and guys. So, you know, I don't know. I just type of person that if you need help, I help you. You scratch my back. As long as that you don't come wrong at me. You know what I mean? Physically, I don't let words get to me. Nothing. I just say this is how it's done. This is my perspective. I mean, do your research. You could believe me or not. I'm not an expert on this subject. I'm just saying that this is what I gather from my actual life experiences.
For sure.
No, that's right. And Michael, what you just said about, I mean, that's one, among other things, that's one of the things, like the whole thing with January 6th that drove me nuts, because it's like a lot of those people were ex-military. That's how they knew kind of, kind of the tactics and, some of these right-wing militia groups, what to do and how to, everything from the equipment to strategy or tactics, right? But what you just said hit the nail on the head, that when they were in the military, they served with so many people who were of different, like you said, races, religions, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender, whatever, right? And now they're back, and it's like, oh, well, let's just go back to the tribalism that we had before, and I'm just going to listen to this crazy orange person who tells me that I'm better because I'm white or whatever it is, right? Not to get into a big thing about it, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and it's just it's like, what is wrong with you people?
But
we're all Americans,
But we also have the opposite occur, right? Where you have the instances of people that you wouldn't think would ever harm somebody, but then you have Mein Kampf, and you have somebody like if you were to look at some of the people that were killing each other in World War II, and like people that were serving for Hitler, was because they believed that they were coming together for a cause that was illogical.
Right.
And there's a lot of aspects that come into play with that, as far as brainwashing and people believing things because they're told. And there's groupthink theory that comes into play with that. Doesn't mean that what they did was right, or excusable by any means. But what I mean is, by comparison, you have people that come together to do good for a common cause, and you have people that come together to do bad for a common cause.
Right.
And then you have people that you have no idea why they're hating each other when they were loving each other the day before.
Right.
There's no explanation. The brain is too complex. That's the thing.
Well, folks, I want to say something quick. I've been 2 hours, so I'm gonna cut it short. I mean, I'm gonna let Michael finish, and then I'm gonna cut it short. So go ahead, Michael. Finish what you're gonna say.
So with all that said, is human behavior, there really isn't. There is no definitive way to explain the way a human behaves, other than when they know what's inside their head, because there is no explanation for racism, sexism, religious hatred or any sort of. But at the same time, we can sort of explain human behavior, but it's why it's so fascinating to me and complex and for example, we all know that people have different skin colors and different races and different religions, and I can see that. I mean, I can clearly look and see that we all have different appearances and we all have, different. But it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not judging anybody for it. I notice it, but judging it is when that becomes that's when that line becomes crossed. It's there's nothing wrong with me noticing that somebody's a female, noticing that somebody has different skin color, noticing. It's when you judge unjustly on that becomes that line that's crossed. But and then it's weird that that this is what we've come to, is that some people will just accept that it's somebody's right to judge somebody when it's not. So I'll just say that it's been interesting, and conversation has been interesting, and it's been fun. Savage, I'm gonna watch your video. I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to you hashing it out.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, me too.
Well, that's gonna be for when you catch my next live stream. That's when I'm gonna just put it out there.
So, and also I want to say something quick. I'm Savage. You're doing great with your channel. You're taking things to the next level. I've seen that you're being more serious, and that's what I'm trying to do too. So, for that, I salute you, because you're going the right way.
Brother. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Barry and Kim and them. I got tired of them messing with me, basically. So it's you know what? Maybe because if I was to continue going the route I was going, they were gonna look at me as a joke, and it's comedy. I'm not on YouTube for comedy. And everybody, in order to make this stuff fun, you have to put a little bit of comedy in it. But my channel is not to be comedy. But I might have some funny videos. That's all it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You
I'm
got
gonna let
your
everybody.
personality in there. You got your
Yeah,
personality in there.
exactly.
So
I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves, starting with Michael. And this live stream, I was gonna take it down, but I'm gonna leave it up because he got a lot of beneficial points. I don't think it should be turned away. So go ahead, Michael.
my name is Michael Pepper at Michael Pepper Tech. I don't only talk tech, but I live it. Thanks for joining us on this live stream, and I'll send it over to Sharky.
Thanks, Michael. It's Shark, a SharkFin Tech. Can also follow me at Twitter at SharkFin small f _ tech, and hope to have very soon, as soon as I can, some content up in terms of finance, that's investing, trading, and fintech and brokerage, and some tech related content in terms of videos and live streams, and throw it over to the governor, Ed, the Savage Scientist.
Thank you, brother. Man, I can't wait to see that finance stuff. But y'all already know who this is. This is the Savage Scientist, Ed. And I'm going to pass it over to Tech for Your Needs.
This is Tech for Your Needs and everywhere. And the most social media that I use is Twitter and Instagram. You can find me there. Thanks for coming, everybody. And I'll see you all in the next one. With that said, peace, much love. Take care.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Good night, guys.
Thank you. Man, that was a great stream tonight.